Okay, now that you've created this simple page with some text in it, it should appear something like this. So this is the URL for your machine. You cannot send me this because I'm not going to have access to C, users, Arcang, desktop, and so on. So what we're now going to do is I'm going to upload it to the Ned server. So I'm going to launch WinSCP, or depending on what type of FTP you're using. If you're using a Mac, it could be Fetch, CyberDuck, or some other type of FTP. So I'm going to log in with my usual credentials, which is ned.highline.edu, my username, password, and I'm going to click login and log in. Okay, now I have my public_HTML here. I want to switch this to my desktop because that's where my index.html file is. I'm going to double click on public_HTML, then go into W1. Double click on W1, and there's my hooks. I've got my lab 1-3. I want to drag and drop index.html. And now I'm going to type in the URL, which should be ned.highline.edu/tilde. And remember, before we had hooks.jpg. And now I'm going to basically just get rid of the hooks.jpg because we have index. So when we just specify the folder name, the very first file that's going to launch is going to be index. And there is my page and the page name, the page title. So you don't need to specify lengthy file names if you have an index.html file. So we generally have index.html. This is going to be your home page. So the very first page you go to, so this would be your home page. So if you're creating a website, your first page would be index.html. Following that, you may have other pages. So these other pages could be anything like about, services, contact, and so on. So these are going to be other pages. So generally about would be named as about.html, services would be called services.html, and contact would be contact.html. And you can have other pages within these pages. So under about, I could have different people. I could say, under about, I've got different organizational members. So I could have a CEO.html, the vice president, or say director.html, and so on. So this is how your site is going to generally look like. So when you're planning your website, you need to kind of have a clear organization of what pages are going to be where. So it's entirely up to you how you set that up. So you need to start thinking of what type of website you're going to be working on for your final project. And all the details and the grading criteria will be covered when we kind of start on that section. But that gives you an idea how everything should be organized.